Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the reading today. So today I really wanted to do a reading about a closing of a chapter. So, this could be something that you're going through that's ending, maybe something that's ended a long time ago and you're going through the processing or finishing off the processing of it, because sometimes some things can end, but we hold on to it for, weeks, years, months, whatever. And so I wanted to do a reading around a chapter that's closing and really focus in on the closure. There will be obviously a new beginning, just like everything, but we'll focus fully in on what is coming to completion. All right, so I've got these cards that I'm going to use to select a pile today. So we'll see what comes through. Okay, this one here, that wanted to... I'll take these ones as well. Let's put that one back. Okay, these will be the 3 piles today. So if you're choosing pile number 1, you have the thread, card number 70. For pile number 2, you have the kiss with card number 60. And for pile number 3, you have the vision with card number 55. Okay, so these will be the 3 piles. I'll also assign some crystals actually. I feel like putting some crystals with each one. This one wants to come out, so I'll put that there. This one here. And this one. Okay, so didn't plan it, but it just felt like something a little extra. For pile number 1, this is rhodonite. This is a little rhodonite point. For pile number 2, this is orange calcite. So raw piece. And for pile number 3, I'm blanking on the name. What's coming up is dolomite, but that's not what this is. Is it hematite? No. They sometimes fake this with being turquoise. When I get to your pile, actually I'll probably put this down, cut it, and that I will find out what this is because I've forgotten the name. Okay, so I've just checked. This one is howlite. I don't know how I forgot that, but howlite. Some of you probably already knew that, and you were right, howlite. Okay, so take your time, pick whichever pile or piles you are drawn to. In the description below, you can jump straight to your video, but I'll give you some time to pick whichever crystal, whichever card you're drawn to. You can have whatever situation you want in mind, or just keep it completely open and see what comes through, because for some of you, you may already know what this is, what's coming to an end, or some of you might just be getting a message from a potential future for you. Okay, I will see you in your reading. Welcome everybody, welcome at pile number 1 to your reading today. So you've chosen the thread. Really interesting imagery here with this arm coming out of the darkness, right, pulling down the walls and seeing the light or the rainbow up above. So really nice imagery here. Remember, this reading is something that's coming to an end. I'm going to probably title it All Good Things Come to an End because that song's playing in my head. I'm not listening to any music today. I've just got the theta waves meditation, something to really help connect with source or spirit, let's say, so we can get a reading for you. Okay, let's grab some cards. This one wants to come through. All right, so what is coming to an end for you, pile number one? Like I said in the beginning, all things come to an end, right? All good things come to an end. All difficult times come to an end. It's never a constant experience of the same thing over and over again. Because even if it's repetitive, there are always certain things that change and subtle differences. But I do like your imagery that you've chosen with this working either through something to, you're very close to finalizing or finishing off an experience. And that's going to open the way for newness. All right, I'll leave the tarot just for a minute. Let's have a look at your cards today. So you've got Kushiel, the Angel of Punishment. Really interesting here. Angel of Punishment is kind of interesting in the sense we see angels as generally pretty positive, right? Or pretty light-hearted, light energies, like the angel of love and beauty and animals and protection, all that kind of thing. There's so many different ways to express or to, I guess, channel certain energies. And sometimes punishment isn't anything that's happening to us, but sometimes the things that we do to ourselves. We punish ourselves for the things we said or we didn't do or did do, all that kind of stuff. This feels like this is what's coming to an end, this either self-deprecation or feeling like others are criticizing, judging, or something like that. There's some kind of end to this. Could also be regarding connections or romance for some reason. That may be just for some, but it's just like that idea. It doesn't even have to be an actual connection. It's just like the idea of love and connection. You've got the Chaos Seeker and the Mask. This is decisions, crossroads, and fears. The blessing of this, whatever this is, coming to an end. I don't know if we're going to go deep into it. You'll know what's going on in your life, and if there is anything or isn't anything, could be something coming up. But it brings you to a point of making a shift or a change. You can see here the mask has been taken off, whether that's like when we mask to show that we're not annoyed about something when we actually are annoyed, or sometimes it happens when we're at work. We're more professional than at home, right? And that's for good reason. But whatever this is something that is cracked and broken, so it was never meant to be a permanent fixture on yourself. And it does lead to, like, sometimes it's difficult to make choices. If we get offered 2 jobs, that can sometimes be harder for some people than it being offered just one. And so there's different paths, and you're going to make a choice. You're going to have the opportunity to make a decision. You've got the Abolitionist and Feather, Justice, Individuality, and Respect. Abolitionists, especially where it's usually focused in on, is through slavery, like getting rid of slavery, right? And you can see even here, all these people are looking at this person like, what is she on about? What is this about? Why is this a big deal? And that happens with all change, right? We get used to certain things just being, and maybe even this cycle of some kind of self-deprecation in a way. And the way out of it is to speak freely, to say what we need to say, and just let let it all flow through. Interesting. You also have Heart Love, the Unconditional Center, 33. Looks like whatever's coming through it after, let's say, the initial breakdown of whatever this is, or this end of a cycle, it opens you up to true feeling of connection within self, this heart love. And last one here is integrity, loyalty to innermost truth. And I love that the loyalty to innermost truth is right next to the abolitionist and feather, which is all about truth, right? Respect, speaking truth, doing what is correct and what is right, breaking this like old wall of punishment. Remember, sometimes I would get stuck in my head, especially with kids, like being a child, and saying certain things and then regretting what I said to that person because I was out of anger or whatever. And sometimes it even carried on into adulthood where I'd remember certain things. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be small, it's just something that's getting cleared out. And I don't know if you have to do anything because you may have done a lot of the work now. It's just like the last pulling of the thread, which undoes the old story, the old mask, the old like way, and you start to be able to be authentically connected with your heart and true. Okay, interesting cards, really, really nice. I'm not getting like exactly what it is for everyone. It's going to be different for everybody, but this ending is a long time coming. Yeah, long time coming, which is how it's coming through. So let's have a look at some tarot cards. What else do they want to say? Got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. It's almost like the challenges you went through set you up for life, if that makes sense. It'd be nice if we could learn everything by just reading about it, but you know you can't just be a doctor by just reading about journals, like doctor journals and all that kind of stuff, right? Or medical journals is what I was trying to say. Medical journals and all that. There has to be a practice and, you know, an experience in some ways. Theory is really helpful to ensure that we, you know, don't just start off on the lowest rung, but it's an amalgamation of both practice and theory. So it feels like whatever you've been through, it's ultimately going to help you in the long run to come through and be. It's kind of like it says set you up for life, which is how this is. And you can kind of see here, there's like they've got a lot of stuff. She's pretty happy, and he's kind of happy. It kind of looks like the 50s, kind of like, oh yes, I've done this for my family. And she's like, oh I know, you know, like yeah, I've got, you know, we're on holiday or we're doing something. That's what it kind of feels like. So it sets you up. You've done the hard work, and this is like the future is more stable or set up for you. Lots of water. You've got the Page of Cups. Just going to read all these upright as well. And the 5 of Pentacles. So I'm just going to put these here. Yeah, no longer do you need to be in this feeling of confinement. You can see here the panda woman, I guess. The panda person is in, I guess, an enclosure, and she can see freedom or truth out there. There's like bamboo, right? Back to nature. Some of you might have done the 3D stuff and are now coming back into like more of your spiritual body, or even just your natural self. You know, planting plants, going out and finding a job that's more in line with your values. There could be a big shifts right here with the Page of Cups. It's like a messenger. It's like, here, this is what you're looking for. This letter or this like information is going to help you find fulfillment, peace, and prosperity. So this is all to come. It just helps break out of this cycle, because here they've got, it's almost like they've got what they need, right? It's kind of like, well, this animal that I have has everything they need in this bowl or this cage. So what's the problem? And it's like, life isn't meant to be just cage, it's meant to experience, right? We want to enjoy it and not have the fear of like going out and getting eaten by something, of course. But there's more to experience than just being inside one room all day. So not saying you're doing that, of course. This is just more of like a representation of that opportunity to set yourself free or be released from this, whether it's physically in the world, right? Whether you're stuck in routine, or emotionally or mentally from past challenges. So that's where this is heading. No more punishing yourself, right? Or judging or criticizing yourself. Okay, so let's get some advice on what you can do with this information, how you can integrate this or help yourself in this life, in this time, right? Whenever you're watching this, this is a reading that isn't bound by time. So when you found this at the right time for you. I mean, pretty simply with the Knight of Cups is go do what you love, go experience. The Knight of Cups isn't always like the best, the most mature, right? That would be like, let's say, the King of Cups. However, you can't be mature and learn stuff by not learning stuff. You have to go experience it. So it's like going out there, putting yourself out in the world, or just testing the waters, right? Trying different things. Got that Knight of Cups there, so that's really nice. You've got the Emperor as well. Speaking of like maturity, Emperor is also like strategizing or just allowing yourself to take an offer, right? Here it looks like he's offering a hand, not so much for like marriage or anything, but just for like, you know, I can give you, like your guidance is, your guides can offer you something. Like if you get offered something or get given something, or even if advert pops up for a particular job you've been looking for, why not explore it? You don't have to take it, but why not allow yourself the dream to have a look at that? Because even just dreaming about something and looking at these houses and looking at how you would live in these opens up your mind, right? It's when you have conversations with family or friends or whatever around winning lotto or something like that, and you're like, I would do this and do that. It just opens up a world of possibilities, and that's kind of where this comes from. This feels more in reality than in like, you know, dream, but it's still the same idea. So they're definitely advising you to like let yourself be free of this past and to take up opportunities or look at what else is out there. Okay, last card for this question. Now, do it now. Yeah, it's a good time to do it. It's kind of interesting because this month, I don't know, you know, there has, you know, people gets caught up with Mercury retrogrades and things like that, and other planets doing this, that, or the other. But we are still sovereign beings. The energy might be around us, but it's up to us whether we work with it or flow with it or let it go. We're not forced into anything, right? We're not forced into like, well, you have to deal with this energy. You have no choice. You always have a choice in some capacity. Some stuff we can't change, but we can always change what we can change. Okay. This might be a quick one. Just trying to see if there's anything else. I mean, it's pretty clear. Like overall, you're becoming more inclined or in tuned with your heart center, your soul center, your soul itself, your higher self. There's like an integration in some way for some of you. Like you're really connecting with it and not just saying you're connecting with it or feel like thinking you're connecting with it. You actually feel it, think it, see it, sense it. It's very obvious that whatever this past was, whatever this thing has ended, that shadow, that fakeness, right? That kind of like deprecating or self-punishment or even dealing with people that were punishing has ended. And this is your like, okay, cool, I'm going to take that step. It might make me stand out as someone who's not really connected, or other people might see you as like disconnected, you know, out of touch with reality or something like that. But whatever it is, you know, it's part of an experience that is open to go through at this time. And so I feel like that's what's coming through. It's like, this is a really good opportunity to make some shifts now. And it's not so much about the past. The past is more of a story that was, and now you've set yourself up with the learnings and blessings to deal with whatever's to come. And free yourself, basically. Free yourself by being real and true and honest towards yourself and with what you do. I was thinking about this recently, just like before the stream, before this message, actually, before this recording. And I was looking at, I guess you would call it like authenticity, right? Like being and saying what you do. And sometimes people will get offered something and we can see that as a sellout, you know, and without judging or criticizing it at all. It's just like, if you feel in your heart that this is the right thing to do, whether it's other people think it's selling out or other people think it's like, you know, pious, or what, doesn't really matter what they think, right? How do you feel about it? That's what's really important. That's the ultimate story here, is how do you feel about what you do, where you are, how you do things, and what can you do to be more aligned with your heart, truth, and integrity, right? Not far to go with this thread. It's like at a crossroads, at a thread, it's like, do I repeat the same cycle? Do I go on a different path? But with the different path is like unknown, so it can be fear. Like that's where the fear comes through. It's like fear of the unknown. What if this happens? What if that happens? I'm used to this. But are you enjoying whatever that this is? That's the question to decide for yourself and make some, you know, really good choices and do what you love. Yeah, I think that's it. It's a pretty straightforward reading for you today, pile number one. I hope this really helps. Look, all this is setting you up for a really enjoyable future. It's not something you have to be worried about or anything. That thing that's coming to an end is something that is either old or is stagnant, and so it needs to be let go of. Anyway, I hope this really helps. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. I hope this helped you. Take care of yourself, look after each other, and I'll see you next time. Hello, hello, welcome to your reading pile 2. So you've chosen the orange calcite. This is interesting. I actually got this on a trek. I just found it just on the trek, I guess, on the road, on the path. And I thought, well, if it's just sitting here shining, I'm going to take it. So I took that and picked that up. You've also got the kiss. Very interesting with the hand holding. Feels really personal, right? Really intimate. This hand holding the kiss is very intimate. Whether it's like, you know, reuniting with like a family member that you haven't seen for a couple of years or weeks or months, right? That kind of thing, or a relationship or a loved one. Okay, let's grab some oracle cards. And we'll see. Remember, this is a reading for what's coming to an end. I've got some curious cards coming through. They're all quite eclectic, let's say, or unique. Like this is my deck. This one is the Angelerium, and this one here is the Secret Language of Darkness. And even these Archetype cards, very cool cards. I got the mini version just to save space, basically, but you know, they're quite nice as well. Okay, and I'll take this one then. All right, easy shuffling. I do shuffle the cards between readings, so I don't record it all. I cut them in between, but yeah, the cards do get a good shuffle, so they're usually primed for each reading. Okay, let's have a look. So you've got Zadkiel, the Angel of Mercy. Interesting here. I usually see Zadkiel as helping with shadow work or stuff that needs to be let go of. He's got a huge sword here. Kind of depicted what we would more see in I guess, religious figures with demonic stuff. But it's like here with the angel, or coming through as an angel of mercy, is like cutting the cord so you no longer have to be stuck, right? Or no longer have to go through the cycle of whatever this is. This is like an ending that will be the ending of all endings type thing with this particular situation, maybe around an ex or something like that, or just trying to deal with a loved one in some way. You've got the Father and Soul crystal. This is dedication, loss, and heart space. So this is something that's deep, right? It's hit the heart space. The story of this guy here, the father, his son is unwell and is about to pass, basically. There's nothing that anyone can do. So he doesn't like that. He puts the child in stasis, goes on a life's journey, and, you know, through every single avenue, looking high and low throughout the world, he has to come to the term that his son is no longer going to make it, and has to come to that decision to take him out of stasis through guidance and wisdom from his guides as well. And that's when he goes through that grieving process of the now realization that there's no saving his son, or saving the situation, right, or anything. So this, you know, while hopefully you're not going through anything crazy like that, but like the story is about acceptance. And here we've got the moving forward towards goals fulfillment. You've got the Garuda and the Sri Yantra, movement, wealth, and fulfillment. So this cutting of the old cord, or whatever this was to you or is to you, this is allowing you to fly freely, allowing you to lift off. It's kind of like, you know that song, I don't know who it is it Barry White? But anyway, it's that just one kiss and say goodbye. I think that's the song. Anyway, that's what's coming through. And I don't even know if those are the words, but that's how it's coming through to me. It's just like, let's just kiss and say goodbye, I think is the lyrics. It's a nice song. It's old. I don't know if it is Barry White. I can't really remember. It's an old school song though. All right, let's take a look at these cards. You also have desire, realizing new pathways of becoming. Yeah, this isn't just the end. It might be the ending of all endings, but that means it opens up for the beginning of all beginnings, right? And that's where desire, where I start to go within to find what is really going to fulfill me now. What is my next step? What do I want to do? What do I feel like doing? What does my inner child want to express right now? What does my adult self want to express right now? Who am I right now? And like, how have I grown from where I was to where I am, and now what's next? It's basically what's desire. What do you desire? Ask yourself that. Write down what you desire. What do you desire out of relationships, out of work, out of life, out of all that? Maybe do some categories and just start listing. What do I want? And you've got secrets. It says a relentless, what does it say? A relentless push for freedom. Yeah, I mean, like I said, to be able to spread your wings, right? That's what this is. I don't think that's a secret. I feel like the secret may be to understand, what does my soul want from me now, which is in the same coin, same, like different sides, same coin. What do I want right now? Because what you want and what your soul want can be in alignment, right? It's not always like, oh, my soul wants this, I don't want that. That's not always reality. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot. We'll see if there's anything they want to bring through for this message. Good time of change. Okay, I want to take these two. You've got the Eight of Wands, which is swiftness, even though this is a turtle, which is normally slow, right? Maybe it was slow in the past, but things start to really pick up. You wouldn't even know. You might have felt like, oh, that would never happen. I would never be able to do that. We might look at a turtle and think, oh, it's never going to be faster than what it's going at. You don't know what that turtle's capable of, right? And you don't even know sometimes what you are capable of. Big shifts, big changes. towards something you really want. There's a lot of speed here. Wands and Knights, fire is fast. You know, there's a lot of speed and swiftness. And wands are also passion, our goals. What do we desire, right? What am I desiring? It's just coming through over and over and over with these cards. How do I express myself freely with this Queen of Cups? How do I start to give back to myself and others even? You know, where am I at right now and what am I capable? You know, sometimes it's like a balance. What am I capable of doing right now that's actually possible? And what do I want to do right now? Because we all have things that we have to consider, whether it's like family or expectations or jobs or things like that, right? So it's within reason, but it's all possible is how the cards are coming through. So besides desire and focusing on your passion and what you love, let's have a look at why the Secrets card came through, a relentless push for freedom. This may go all the way back to past lives or like soul learning. So we'll just have a look at what the secret is. I mean, it is a secret, so who knows what's going to come through, right? If something's supposed to be a secret, it'll say a secret, but I just want to know if there's like any extra information for your reading. Empress. Like the first thing that came through was the ability to transform, but also the ability to create and remembering the true essence of the divine feminine within you that's coming through as well. It's like all you had to do with this now is express it freely, express your true self freely, whether you like, regardless of gender. Live freely. Freedom is really important with your reading. Like, freedom is super important. It doesn't have to be a relentless push. You're at a point where it's like, oh, instead of like forcing anything else around me to conform, it's like I can just be. The Knight of Cups is also doing what you love, but finding out what you love by example, or by practicing, or by trying, experiencing different experiences. I was watching someone before who, like a YouTuber, and you know, he's doing his thing, he's raising money and all that kind of stuff for living a particular style or lifestyle. And at one point, someone criticized or judged the way he was spending his money, and so he kind of flipped a bit on it and was like, oh yeah, maybe I should just not do this or that or whatever. And I think that was a good learning, right? It was a good learning for him to be like, I can't just change who I am or change things just based off one person's comment, because a lot of people were supporting whatever he did, because it was entertaining, it was fun. And, you know, he even said he wasn't dipping into the money that he's being gifted towards a particular goal. He was just using, it wasn't even a big deal. It was kind of like, I'm going to hire this vehicle so I can trial it, which I think is smart, because you get like a real feel of like, is this what I should be spending all this money on? Otherwise I'll spend all this money, get it, and then not actually be, it won't actually be useful for what I want it for. So that's the kind of vibe with that. And anyway, you've got the Knight of Cups, trialing, doing what you love, being in that heart center. Okay, and another knight. You've got a lot of knights here. Knight. You've got, you know, the cups, the swords, and the wands all coming through. The secret is like, it's meant to be explored rather than just known. The secret, it's like, the secret to life isn't one quote or one example. It's many quotes, it's many examples. It's not one book, it's many books. It's trying many different things and feeling what is right to you in this moment, and also within this life, not just because you've got a degree in that, or your parents said or that you were really good at this and they're proud of you if you do this particular thing. It's none of that. It's really, it can be that, but it's not because of what they say or like what you've kind of paved out for you from the past. It's like, what do you want to do today, to now, in this moment? Because the past is getting closed. You know, the stuff has been closed. You may have already done a lot of the work, and needed support, and now this is an opportunity to really make some headway on your love goals, passions, especially if it's around romance. That kind of comes through. Looking for love, maybe upgrading the relationship in some sense, like I don't know, having children, having more communication, having a big, deep, meaningful conversation about stuff that is or isn't working, right? All that kind of stuff. It's really dependent on your particular circumstances and what you're going through. Because this grief or loss is, or it doesn't is anything. It must be go through some kind of process. If it's the time, you'll know. If it's not the time, then you'll also know. So trust and believe that as well. Don't talk yourself into it and don't talk yourself out of it. Feel it. Okay. And it's kind of interesting with this because this was found right on a trail, and so it's just something random, but it was quite an experience to find, not just find it, but to be on that trek. It was in another country, and it was just unexpected. You think you have expectations of what something's going to be like, but if you stop and look around, you can see so much, right? You can see the animals in the trees that you might not have been paying attention to because the goal was like, oh yeah, it was to start here and finish here and then come back. But then when you see it, when you're like on the trek, there's so much more that's there. There's so much more richness. So, it's not like a video game where you can just fast travel there and you skip all that. You have to go through it. So secret-wise, I would say it's about expressing truth, ideas, thoughts, love, creation, all that kind of stuff. A new beginning could even be birth, rebirth, or birth of some kind. That's what will come from all endings, but it could be like actual birth, right? Like a child. Anyway, that may be just something that's coming through for one or two of you. But I believe I'll end that there for you, pile number 2. This feels like a really deep emotional change into something more fulfilling than what you had experienced. And maybe for some of you, something that's really long that you've been holding on to a long time, maybe coming to a point of release or closure. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Hope this really helps you, pile number 2. Thank you very much for letting me read for you today. Take care of yourself, look after each other, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome to your reading, pile 3. So you've chosen, finally I figured it out, the Howlite and the Vision. Interesting that it was the Howlite that I forgot, because, I don't know, we're talking about vision, right? So it's like an idea. And if we're talking about something coming to closure, what could be beginning as an old idea resurfacing that you may have forgotten is a good way for me to maybe save face with it. But yeah, that's what's coming through with this card just on its own. This idea is coming through an ending of what one experience to the next. This also could be a reading that's really different from the theme. It kind of feels like this could be talking to you about an idea that you've already had or that you're wanting to start. Doesn't have to have a full completion, but what will be completed is the end of not doing the stream to doing the stream. That's kind of like the idea. So we'll have a look at what cards come through anyway, if you're able to, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, let's just get into the reading. So I'm going to read the cards all upright, even if they come through reverse. Okay, these two. And I've had a good shuffle. It's interesting because it feels like an idea that maybe someone's poo-pooed in the past, or you've poo-pooed. That you just thought, oh, this is just pie in the sky or a dream, nothing really that I can do in reality. This could be like, it's the right time now. The world's shifted and changed. I might have needed this, and this in the past, but now everything has been consolidated into one thing where I can just ask or get assistance from this particular program or this particular person or this particular environment, or I've saved enough to be able to do this. So this feels like more of a new beginning than an ending reading. But hey, Something as the end for something to begin. Okay. Let's take a look at your cards, pile 3. So you've got Hod, submission, the left leg. Interesting, it's with its being submission. For some reason it's reminding me of something inaccurate. Not the card itself, but submission is like, it's not a very accurate move in the past. Like something you did was like, it was like, okay, at that time it was maybe like 80% it could start, and that's why it wasn't really seen. But now it's like, okay, I need to let go and just go with this idea. It's 100% fulfilled now. Before it was like a slightly more hit miss. Like 80% is pretty good, right? If we're doing something, it's still high. There's still a 20% chance of it not being the right time, or not fulfilling or meeting the needs, or even just going on a journey with it, which is like harrowing, let's say, or difficult or challenging, and then getting to a point of, okay, now it's the right time, or just not even doing it, doing what you were doing, and then coming back to it when it's the right time. Either way, you still get to the point of, okay, now it's the right time. The Chosen and Floral Garland with Ascension, Vibration, and Blessings. Yeah, this is a really good opportunity. It kind of feels like this is the time to let go of the heavy 3D kind of energy. Like the submission is just letting go. It feels like more letting go than submitting to something. But yeah, the Chosen is, there's like many sides to this character. He's starting a new beginning, or he's come through to share wisdom and knowledge, and he's got really good support, but also sometimes a lot of support or a lot of people around can lift us up, but it can also not pull us down, but it can get in our heads that we don't want to ruin or upset or misrepresent people, right? I guess an example could be going to a sports game and you've got people all cheering and your family are there, and that can be really uplifting to have them there. But let's say you've had like a whole country's expectations on your back or something, that can like just do tricks with the mind, that kind of stuff. It's just like a little thing, but it can be a seed of doubt, right? So this is to really release whatever that is and go forward with this beginning. We'll have a look what else comes through. Yeah, this like release these old chains. The Golem and the Chala with the creation, control, and consumption. Golems are like creations. And so here it's distracted by the bread. It's like, oh, yummy, I'm going to have this. And it doesn't even realize it's been trapped. So there could be, depending on what you're consuming, if you're stuck on the news, regardless of what that is, usually most news is negative stories, right? Unless you watch some of the other people like Sam Bentley out there who do videos on positive news, or like what's being created and what's some of the technology is being utilized for, because we worry about AI being used for like taking away jobs, or like taking over the world in some people's minds, right? And on the other side, it's like being utilized in medicine to make it quicker and cheaper and faster to be able to synthesize certain things, all this kind of stuff. It's all out there. And like my point in that is, we can get caught up with this card is kind of representing, we can get caught up in staying in comfort because it's easy. It's like, exercise isn't always easy for some people. And that's because it takes effort and time. And most of the time we're told, well, effort and time should be worked on with like money-making things or something like that, right? And it's just like, just take it easy. Take it easy with all that. Some of the stuff is going to be very different to what your mindset might have been in the past. But even with here, it's like part of your DNA with these helixes, right? This deck. It's time to go. Separation, reconnecting to your center. Yeah, separation from this old, oh look, I was talking about the DNA was important, and this one has a bazillion of them, like DNA helixes. all in the background. So this is like, it's time to, in some way, the separation is from the old self or from the 3D kind of drama of life. And it's recognizing, okay, with separating from here, I'm reconnecting with source. I'm reconnecting with my true self. I'm reconnecting with my what I was here to do or to experience in this life. I had a vision from the beginning. You've got these two wise owls here with wisdom, and you know it's time to step through to this next phase. So it is an ending of sorts, but it's more of like gearing yourself up for the next level or next change. And again, you've got, I say again because this one came out in Pyre 1, you've got integrity, which is loyalty to innermost truth. Not the 3D stuff, this is the real stuff. It's talking about the real deal, awakening, right? We've got here ascension, vibration, being in connection with truth and self. It's all coming through with these cards. Don't think there's going to be much else to say with this, but let's see what else comes through with the tarot deck. This is the Curious Creatures. It's just a little wacky. It has like animal heads and people bodies. So it's a bit of a unique kind of one. And that's what I was thinking with all these decks, because this is my deck that I created, you know, with artists' help. But all this, it's like really strange, unique cards. So it makes sense why this one's coming through too. It's like truth with authenticity right here. Loyalty to innermost truth. This is like the real truth of who you are. You've got the Five of Wands. This could be getting into, it's like two sides to this, because here's the separation. It's like breaking away from the struggle of trying to win at life, right? You know, climb up the ladder, be the better lawyer or the doctor or whatever people fight about. Probably doctor wouldn't really make too much sense. Maybe lawyer would. But especially like stock, what do they call it? Stock markets. I don't know what they're called. Brokers, I guess. You know, trying to get the best, trying to be the best, trying to be seen as number one, make the most money. You know, all that kind of stuff. It's like breaking away from that, separation from that. But also on like another side of it is starting to light a fire under your butt. Starting to do the real work, not just the little 3D kind of stuff. Yeah, you got the Two of Wands, it's time, right? You've got the key here, she's got a key, she's got a lock. She just has to unlock, she takes her sticks and she goes on this new journey. So you're already at the gateway, doorway, whatever you want to call it. I'll try to move these over. Oh, pushing. Yeah, that should be enough space. Oh, this one. Yeah, time to go. Got the Tower card. It's like the fabric of reality is being ripped here. It's a cool card really, because it's, you know, it looks like, it's not really, but it looks like it's been ripped. And so this pretty little picture in the background is being ripped. So reality is starting to shift. You might have seen that things just aren't quite what they seem to be. And so it's time to take heed and move forward and recognize that, you know, the old fabric of reality is shifting. And it opens up a new opportunity to really express like your true truth. All right, I just want to see what else comes through. I'm kind of feeling like this will be more of an advice. 9, there's like all this struggle, right? It's like here, this push and pull, and even 9 here, it's kind of like you've already gone through a lot of the hard stuff. You're near the end. You just need to come to an understanding of what you want to do, or what is what's right within your soul or heart, and go forward with that. This vision could have been an old reality of the world from, you know, 10, 25 years ago, whatever, however old you are. It's like it's shifting, something's shifting. So don't give up. New pathways, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. You know, it's kind of interesting because we, as humans, we think job and work and all that kind of stuff is going to give us what we need, the money to purchase and buy. But it's almost like, well, if you live authentically, you'll get all that you need to be able to get all these things that you want as well, right? If it's within your highest good, maybe the $1 billion house or mansion isn't really what's for your highest good. It's like, I don't know, $1 million house, which these days is just a normal house, right? And I'm being honest because we're looking for houses, and they all cost around that if we want to, you know, just what people would have had, maybe not as up to date, but what people would have had in the 50s buying a house, or the opportunities back then for buying a house. It would have been pretty normal to get a 3-bedroom house, and these days to get a 3-bedroom house as your first house, you know, you got to get some money. But anyway, back to my point here, it's like that doesn't, just because it's more challenging in some ways from the past, that doesn't mean you're hindered by anything other than your own belief. If you're hindered, that reality is still very true, and you'll get what you need. All right, last card is the King of Cups. This is what resonates with you and what is within your vibration, right? Even here, he's sitting here, his feet aren't even in the water, and the fish is still curious, right? It's still like, there's something about this being or this person that aligns with my truth or my reality. And the King of Cups is also an emotional, mature person. So none of this is telling you to rush. There's a lot of fire here, which you might think, oh, this is time to like go, go, go. But no, this is like a time of understanding who I am, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and how do I start to take some steps on unleashing this old idea or old plan in a new way. It's not like you thought of it as a kid and left it, and then you pick it back up and think of it like a kid again. No, it's through all the learning you went, all the life that you lived has given you the skills to be able to now unfold this vision, so to speak. So here you got the little bear too, which feels like it's protected. It's like a bear claw. Feels protected, this coin. Your finances or your stability, that kind of stuff is protected. So, you know, do you believe you can? Can you submit, or like not really submit, but let go to be able to allow this vision or idea or truth to come through? Or do you stay stuck, right? It's really up to you. Do you take command of your life, or do you let it just unfold naturally? You know, either or could be correct. So it just really depends on what you want to do with this. But you've got time to consider this. The tower isn't so much a tower moment. It's in reality, it feels like it more would be in the mind of like, okay, the world I thought was run like this, but really there's this other way of seeing the reality, fabric of reality, and that's really curious to me, and I'm interested in exploring that. So yeah, you're very close to figuring some of the stuff out, and it leads to more fulfillment, more emotional stability, more freedom, you know, all that kind of stuff. If that's what you're looking for, right? More blessings, let's say. An ascended way of viewing reality, your life in this world. Okay. Feel like that is it. You know, this is all to reconnect with your truth. It says here, reconnecting with your center, recognizing that I'm separate from my soul, or like I feel like I'm separate from my soul, and recognizing that I'm not actually separate from my soul. The illusion of separation is like saying, I thought I had food in front of me, but I don't actually have food in front of me, so I need to go get some food. But if we keep thinking, okay, there's food in front of me, it's food in front of me, and it's not actually there, then, you know, that's where that reality starts to not, I guess, unfold exactly as we thought it was. We thought we saw something, but we don't actually see it. So it's like that recognition in some way. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I hope this really helps you. Pile number 3, really interesting reading, slightly different to all the other readings. If you're interested in pile 1, that may be something for you with this card coming through, but it was a very different reading. So, you know, maybe there's more to the message on that one. But it's up to you whether you want to check that out or not. Either way, this is a great opportunity. Whatever's ending, so to speak, this is more of like unraveling or unfolding a vision that you've had of your life. Okay, Thank you very much for letting me read for you, Pile 3. Take care of yourself, look after each other, and I'll see you next time.